Hello, 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 my beautiful people, my beautiful listeners. Welcome to another episode on the Growth Project. As you guys are well aware, my name is Charisse and I am forever your host. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a warm welcome and also thank you to anyone who is returning, to my day ones, my OGs who are constantly listening to my episodes. And to the new people that we have here who are just discovering the Growth Project, I just want to say a warm welcome to you and thank you guys for always tuning in. So, on today's episode, we are going to be diving into our subconscious mind, and I would say the truth about manifestation. As you guys are well aware, for those who are my recurring listeners, I have not put out an episode, I would say at least 6 to 8 weeks. There has been so much going on behind the scenes, and to my loyal listeners, I want to say please excuse me. I'm definitely working on building some sort of consistency with these episodes. Just sometimes when life happens and things happen. I was buying a place, I was moving, all of that. It's sometimes it can just seem like, oh, making a podcast or making an episode is not the most important thing, or this is more important than that. And to be honest, being away from the podcast for almost 2 months have really showed me that there is no place that I'd rather be than here speaking with you guys, connecting with you guys, and that not being on here actually has been, like, I would say, the worst decision that I could have made, because I absolutely love this. I love this. I'm so passionate about this, and this literally fuels my heart. And staying away from it or prioritizing other things just because, like, my podcast is not that important. That's what I say to myself, or, like, other things or real life things is more important. But I had to really come to a point where I told myself, like, this is just as important as anything else. This is the real world. Like, this is the real world. This is a real thing to me, and this is so important to me. This is part of my purpose. This is part of my brand. This is part of what I'm building. These are building blocks for my future, and I have to take it just as important. Not because it's not as big, not because it's not the Oprah show yet, but I have to take it serious now, and I have to make it important now if I want to get to that point. And having this time off really just helped me come back and recommit with so much fire and so much vigor, because I'm just like, no, like, being away, it's kind of like, like when you're in a relationship and then, like, you guys take a break or whatever, somebody's acting up and they're like, I need space, whatever, blah blah blah, and you're like, I take your space, right? Take your space. And then that person's coming back like, I don't know what I was thinking, I miss you, absence make the heart grow fonder, or whatever bullshit they say. It's like that. It's like, I just felt like, no, 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 no. This is what I need to do. This is what I'm meant to do. This is part of the building blocks of my future, of whatever platform, whatever message that I'm going to be spreading, whatever the F I'm going to be doing. I know that this podcast is going to be an important part of getting me there. And I just feel so much more committed to this, so much more committed to my path, and just so much more committed to my purpose and everything. And I just don't ever want to be disconnected from that, like, ever. So to all of my loyal listeners, thank you for being here with me again. Thank you for waiting and reaching out to me, asking me when another episode would be. And just thank you for your continuous support, because it absolutely means the world to me. So now that that is out of the way, we are going to be talking about how to truly manifest. Okay, so this is going to be more than tools that you can use to manifest, because there are many tools and there's many methods. Today we're going to do a deep dive into what manifestation really is and how you can actually make this process more simple for yourself. But I want you guys to really understand and have a grasp of this, because we're going to be going into the subconscious mind, and this is how you're going to know really and truly how to manifest and what the true process of manifestation is. And it may take it may cause you to feel a little bit of relief, because I think a lot of times we go into manifestation, or we go into these processes, this kind of like hidden practices, alchemy, transmutation, all of these things, right? And sometimes we just kind of like, we're following the steps that the people say, but we don't really know how it truly works, and therefore we're not actually getting the results that we desire. I'm going to change this for you with this episode. Hopefully this is it's super clear, and I definitely recommend that you re-listen to this episode sometime in the future. But this is just so important to understand when you are on the journey, on the process of changing your life, of creating your life, and of self-actualization, becoming who you truly know yourself to be, becoming who you are in your soul, complete soul embodiment. And yeah, that is what we're going to be discussing today. So just give me a second. So if you have never heard anything about manifestation, which would be so weird, because like for the past couple of years, I feel like now is kind of, I don't know if it's died down, but I'm just seeing less content around it. But for the past 3 years, a lot of people have been talking about manifestation, and it is something that is universal, but it's also sometimes a little bit personal based on the person and their experience with it. What I'm going to be talking to you guys about, it is the universal concept, so it's going to work for anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. Manifestation truly is the concept of making the unseen seen. Taking something that was a thought, that was in our imagination, right? That was a concept in our mind, in the infinite place of our mind, and bringing it forth to reality through a series of processes. Okay? So we're taking a thought concept, we're taking something from our imagination, and through certain processes, that thing, that idea, that experience is reflected to us, exists, or is born into our reality. So when we are manifesting truly, and the thing is that we're always manifesting. So I don't want it to seem like manifestation is something that you do. Manifestation is something that you are. You are actually a manifestation, right? You are actually a creation, a manifestation. I'm sure you were once an idea, and the true creator, the only creator, the almighty creator created us, right? So I'm sure we're a manifestation of some sort. And now we have the power to create and to manifest as well. So therefore, we're always manifesting. We're always interacting with the field. Okay, we're gonna call this a field. This can be a field of consciousness. This can be a field of energy, but it's something that is unseen to us at this present consciousness, level of consciousness at this present time. But we're always reacting with this field, and we are interacting with this field through our energy, through our thoughts, and through our emotions, right? Those are things that we can't see our thoughts, we can't see our emotions, we can't see our energy, but we can feel these things, right? We can feel our emotions, we can feel energy around us, we can even feel like bad energy, whatever. So this kind of energy is always emitting from us, you know. I'm sure you guys have already heard the concept of the aura, that we have this auric field around us. We have our energy body. We are just like inside this huge energy body. And that's how I like to see it. I like to see like this huge energy body extending from us, going forward, like it just depending on many factors, but I like to see it as this huge energy body that is like we're enveloped inside of it, right? And this is the energy and this is the field that is interacting with the universal field, with the cosmic field. We then, through our emotions, through our thoughts, through our state of being, which is our state of energy at any point in time, are interacting with this field and giving it information about where we are right now, what we believe, what kind of state of being that we are in. So this is why when you go on a manifestation journey, a lot of times they'll talk about your state of being and about being in an abundant mindset and all of that, because these are the things that you want to attract to you. But what there is not just about thinking. So it starts with thinking, but it's not just about thinking. You have to feel it as well, and it has to become your state of being for it to constantly react and interact with the field that way. When it interacts with the field that way, that's when things are magnetized to you and things come to you, because that is the information that you are sending the field. That is your current state of being. Therefore, that is your current attraction point, and your energy is interacting with the field in that way. And therefore, it interacts with you by showing you the things in your life. So you interact with it by your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your overall state of being and energy, and it interacts to you by bringing the things that you're feeling, thinking, your state of being. It reacts to you by lining you up with those exact things. It interacts with you by saying like, hey, I'm here. Let me show you how I'm here, by lining you up with exactly what you wanted, lining you up with exactly what you're manifesting, lining you up with synchronicities and with things, feelings, people, places, all of that just like makes sense on a soul level. So I promise that is the most confusing part of it. If you found that part confusing, know that more clarity is going to come. That was just like the most confusing part of it, just because of the language and the verbiage. But I hope that you guys got that part. You're interacting with this universal field, with this, it's universal. It's the same entire field that we're all in, and that's why they say we're all one, because we're all connected in this. It's like if we're in this kind of like water or whatever, and we're all connected, but because we don't see it, we just think we're all separated. So like I said, that was just like the basis part. Now, for when it comes to our subconscious mind, where does our subconscious mind play into all of this, right? So this is where it gets juicy, and this is where, if you want to take notes, or if you want to, whatever, this is it. Our subconscious mind, right, is what truly drives us right now at this very moment. It takes care of our processes. Like, you don't need to tell yourself to breathe. You don't need to tell your heart to pump. You don't need to tell your blood cells to go into this specific place. Like, you don't need to do all of that, right? You have processes, you have motors, you have nerves, and all of that sending messages. And what controls that, we would think, is just our brain, right? And it is, part of it is. But what truly controls that is our subconscious mind. I highly recommend that you guys check out a couple books on the subconscious mind. There are many. Maybe I'll list them at the end of the episode or something like that for you guys, so I can just take the time to give you guys a couple of books. But once you delve into that world, you see that this is very, very, very interesting, because most of ourselves, most of our drives and motives come from this part of ourselves, and we are not really in touch or in tap with this part of itself. So this is a quote that I remember from, one of the guys that are always saying quotes, and it says, the subconscious mind will rule you, right? And man will call it fate. I'm definitely paraphrasing, and I'm definitely going to find who said that quote. So the actual quote was from Carl Jung, and you guys may know who Carl Jung is. He was like a Swiss psychiatrist, like he was like a psychoanalyst, and he came up with many theories, especially having to do with like our shadow sides and like our subconscious and the psyche and like all of those things. He did dream analysis, and he really talked about the collective unconscious and all of that, right? So the actual quote is, until you make the subconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Or another way that we usually see it is, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate, like I was saying. So what I really from this is that if you don't actually become aware of what is in your subconscious mind, or if you just don't even become aware of how your subconscious mind is affecting you, you will continue to live life with absolutely no control, and you will not be able to create the life that you actually want. Because no matter how many affirmations you say, or no matter how much you're just like, I want to do this thing, if you do not truly believe in it, and if there's things in your subconscious that directly goes against that thing, it is unlikely that it will manifest unless you have extreme conviction and belief. So let's dive into the realm of the subconscious mind and manifestation. For something to truly manifest into our reality, it needs to be planted into the subconscious mind. I don't know why this is coming up right now, but I just kind of feel like I'm remembering the movie Inception. And you remember how they went through different layers of the mind to get to the subconscious mind and plant the seed, and then the seed went through the different levels and manifested in reality. And that is kind of like what it's like to truly manifest and to stay on the path that you're intending, and to not self-sabotage, and to not do all of the things that go against what you actually want. So first step, you choose, I want to do this, right? So I want to start a business, or I want my business to grow to a certain revenue. That is your goal. So the first thing, if you want to make the unconscious conscious, you have to play to your desires, play to a goal, play to something that is in your imagination that wants to come forth. And you have to commit to this goal, right? I'm committed to taking my business to the next level. I'm committed to making an album. I'm committed to whatever it is that you're committed to. Now, upon the journey of committing to that thing, right? Once you've committed to that thing, it is going to start. It's kind of like wheels just start, and it is on the process of you meeting it or it coming to you. It is that simple. What is not simple is the journey between there, right? Because upon that journey, we are going to have what we like to call 5 sensory information, 5 sensory feedback, or you're going to get feedback from the real world about where you are at subconsciously. Okay, you're going to get feedback. So you don't kind of like go into your subconscious mind. You can do hypnosis, which I highly recommend, or you can look at the physical world as feedback of where you are on your journey of achieving that goal. So, for example, you said you're going to bring your business to the next level, and you've decided to get to that point, you're going to need to talk to some prospects, get some business cards, give it to people, etc., etc. Now it's time to do those things. And when it's time to create the business card, now you're having trouble creating it, or you don't feel like it, or maybe you did create it. But now when it's time to give it to people, you are extremely nervous, or you avoid the situation, or you tell yourself, next time I'm not dressed well, I can present myself well today. Whatever it is, you start having doubts, and you start having fears, and you start thinking in a way, right, that is not actually lined up to your goal. Because your goal is to bring your business, right, to the next level by talking to prospects, by getting yourself out there, But when it comes time to do it, you're not actually thinking in that way. You're not thinking in a way that's going to bring your goal. You're actually thinking in a way that's going to keep your goal away from you, by saying like, oh, I don't feel like it, my business just not I'm not presentable today, I don't want to go talk to people, I don't want to get rejected, So what you're seeing there, if you can observe this enough, is that if you observe this, what you're realizing is that you have thought processes in your brain right now, and this is coming from your subconscious. This is directly linked to what's in your subconscious. You have thought processes, you have fears, doubts, all of that things in your subconscious mind that is coming forth in your conscious mind right now, and is causing you to delay that goal. Remember, the goal is set into motion as soon as you commit to it. But what truly separates you from getting there is the journey. The journey can be kind of like, I don't want to say easy. The journey could be easier if you allow yourself to do the things that you need to do. If you do not block yourself, if you do not give in to unnecessary fears and doubts and inaccurate thinking. But if you do, then the journey becomes a little bit longer. But it's not something bad, because what you realize is that in these moments, you get to correct your thinking. Being able to accurately think something into reality is about high quality thought, not thought that is tainted by opinions, by wrong beliefs, by conditioning that we've received, but actual, I don't want to say truth, but true thinking. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if your goal is to scale your business, right, to the next level, and you truly believe that you can do it, is it accurate to think, people don't want my business? People are not interested in this right now. I am not at my best right now. Is it beneficial to you to think those thoughts, right? Because those thoughts are not aligned to your goal. Those thoughts, if you keep thinking them, will not bring you where you want to go. Therefore, they are inaccurate thinking, or we can say wrongful thinking or lies. They're not actually, and this is what I love about this process, is that it's a purification of thought. It's a purification of mind. Because you're going to realize that to manifest something, you have to actually truly believe it. And you cannot let these doubtful thoughts or these fears actually, like I said, if they're in your mind, and if they are in your mind and you're having emotions about them, then they are kind of like, I don't want to say poisoning, but they're kind of like tainting. Remember we talked earlier, that field, right? That field of your energy. And since that's not, since the information of that energy is not like, I want this, or I can't wait to get this, this is energy that I'm scared this is not going to come to me, I'm not worthy of this. This is the information that you're sending out to the field. Is it going to bring that thing closer to you? Not actually. You're going to set yourself up to not receive what you want, basically. And this is the things that a lot of people don't tell you about manifestation, or maybe I just see manifestation in a different way. But I'm not just talking about like manifesting $100 or a car. I'm talking about self-actualization and manifesting the life and to be the person that you see yourself to be. If you close your eyes and you see yourself to be this strong go-getter, entrepreneur, or just this saint-like person, helping, going to different countries, doing missionary work, and then you look into your reality and you're not that, it means that there is some work for you to do to become that person. And the work that you need to do is, it's like a little bit mental work, mental alchemy, because your reality is reflecting to you right now your state of being, and your state of being is determined by what you're thinking all the time and what you're feeling all the time. So that is why when we're talking about manifestation and I see people just saying like, do this method and it'll come, it's like, yes and no. Like, it's not that simple. You can write like $100 is coming to me, $100 is coming to me, but if you do not actually believe it, if your emotions doesn't line up, then it's not gonna come. And what happens is that most people say, oh, this doesn't work, manifestation doesn't work, but it's not true. It is not true. Or that works and they're like, perfect, I'm gonna do this for something bigger, right? And then they're like, perfect, like I have the perfect home where I'm gonna get this, and then that doesn't come, and then they don't believe in it anymore. Because the thing is that bigger manifestations take bigger beliefs, takes a bigger faith in yourself, bigger belief in yourself, and it triggers the subconscious a little bit more. Why? Because maybe $100, getting $100 free is super believable for you, right? But maybe meeting Jay-Z, right, or meeting Beyonce is not super believable for you. So that is going to trigger your subconscious beliefs that say that you are not worthy. That basically, why is it not believable for you to meet Beyonce? All of the reasons that you're gonna list right now, most of them have a root cause, and that root cause is in your subconscious mind right now. So rewiring your mind and delving into your subconscious is all about making sure that you are thinking in the proper way. You're thinking in the proper way that is going to bring you towards your goals. You're thinking in an accurate way that lines you up to your desired outcome. And anything else that doesn't, and any thought, any feeling that doesn't align you to your desired outcome needs to be reworked. And that is when you truly start manifesting the life that you want. Well, this is where I'm gonna leave you guys for today. I hope that this was said in a very digestible way, and like I said, I highly suggest that you leave this episode for a day, marinate on it, and maybe replay it so that it is fresh and also has the time to sink into your mind and sink into the subconscious. Another thing that I highly recommend is that you just saying to yourself right now, I may not have fully understand everything that I heard today, but I allow myself to digest this information. Just by saying this, you're going to see that your body is going, the next couple of days, you're going to be having more ideas. You're going to be having thoughts. You're going to be having hunches, and all of that that's going to lead you into the direction that you need to go into so that you can understand this information more. But I'm going to leave you guys, like I said, with at least 2 or 3 books that is going to put you onto the path of, understanding your subconscious mind. And these are books that I recommend. There's 2 that I've read and 1 that is on my to read list that I'm going to be reading extremely soon. So I think you guys already heard about the first one, which is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is an amazing book, and I'm going to discuss it. I think I'm going to discuss a little bit some of the books that I read and the messages that I gain from them. But this one is an amazing one that literally teaches you the way that you need to think for you to acquire wealth, right? And we have also The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Amazing, amazing, amazing book. And you have also Psycho Cybernetics. This is the next book that I'm definitely going to read by Maxwell Maltz. And this one as well talks all about like just your subconscious mind, and it just talks a lot about like how our self-image really determines, you know, our self-worth, how we see ourselves, how we think, and how we achieve or do not achieve goals. So those are 3 books that I would highly recommend you guys checking out after this episode if you really want to dive more into it. As always, if you guys are interested in going deeper into this, changing your thought processes so that it matches up with the reality that you actually want to create, you guys know you can find me at Sharice Fierce, and I have a couple of one-on-one spots open right now that I'm settled into my new place, and I would really love to take a couple of you on their journey of truly discovering what you're capable of, what you're made of. And I just find it really beautiful when people start to realize that like they could do whatever it is that they wanted, and that they're not actually as limited as they previously believed. So if that sounds like you and you want to go into this journey with me, check out the description or check out my Instagram at Sharice Fierce, and you will find everything that you need to know there. Sign up for one of my programs or sign up for my one-on-one, and we will get you onto the road of accurate thinking and of achieving your goals. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.